Great day, Vibrillionaire Soul. Greetings and blessings, Vibrillionaire Soul family. Loving, living the Vibrillionaire lifestyle all day, every day. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, May 4th, 2021. And this is your daily reminder to ground for life, hydrate for life, breathe life, and be life. And your Samadhi genuine message of the day is, it's a question. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? Ask yourself that. And just take into account how grateful, full of greatness you are. Because greatness doesn't come from the outside. Greatness comes from the inside. But look around you and see greatness that you've manifested in your life. The air that you breathe. The life that you live. You're here for a purpose. You manifested this life. And some might not want to hear that because they're going to say, what? I manifested this? But you're alive. See, anything that exists outside of us, we can transform. We're alive. What are you doing with that life? And as I speak to you, I'm speaking to myself because I'm grateful for my life. But there's things that I need to mature and transform continuously in my life. So take an account. Take an account of life all around you. Because life is beautiful. Look at the green. Symbolizes life, right? Look at the birds singing their songs. The ants doing their work, not complaining. Not saying, oh my gosh, I got to work today. Because the ants know they have a greater purpose. Blessings, Rob Moon. Look around you and the little things that you want to complain about, whether they're little or big things. Because I had a conversation with a beautiful soul last night, Craig. I'm not sure if I can give his whole name, but we'll call him Craig. And I was telling him, because the beautiful mirror he showed up as, it's like, I'm so full of gratitude. I appreciate fullness of life. And we'll do another video on the difference between gratitude and appreciation. And there's, anyways, so I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him and I'm telling him, you know what? If we were living just 100 years ago, even 500 years ago, even 50 years ago, and I'm even going to say even 20 years ago, because that's when I started. Around that time, this was very taboo. Like talking about meditation, talking about this, there's something more, right? There's something more inside of us. Knowing that I can, even psychology, even counseling, even therapy was looked at something like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with you. You're taking therapy? Oh my gosh, are you broken? Are you okay? I mean, did you lose a screw? Things of that nature, right? 20 years ago, we couldn't talking about maturity, talking about responsibility, talking about, facing those old stories, those old beliefs and patterns and habits, because we had to act like everything was okay, because we wanted to fit in. And now we're in this time where there's coaches galore. And there's so much opportunity for you to get out of your comfort zone. For you to embrace that you're not alone. And when I started, it wasn't friendly to say that you're alone. It wasn't received this isn't my perspective, because depending on, what your circle is, what your people are, what your collective, consciousness is in your circle, meaning it could be your church, it could be your group, it could be your gang, because that's where I come from, it could be your family. So these different circles of consciousness, that was your environment. So depending where you come from was the message that you heard. So for my example, the message that I heard is, suck it up. There's no crying is weakness. facing it is BS. Transform it. Like, just do it. Like, just go for it. And we live in a world where you are not alone. Like, you are not alone. There's many people. Look at the people that come onto this live. Sarah Knight, another beautiful, beautiful mirror. Robert Katangole, Muzungo, blessings. You have mirrors here that desire to serve and mirror to you what's possible. Such an old paradigm. And it was only 20 years ago. I mean, we're not talking about 100 years ago, right? Isn't that, I don't want to say crazy, but isn't that like out of this world? Like, and I know I sound like, but I mean, really, it's 20 years ago. It's not that long ago. 10 years ago. This was starting to catch a little bit of momentum, right? 5 years ago, it caught much momentum. And it's been a ride. It's been a journey, right? And it's just amazing if you really count your blessings. Just the fact that you could talk about and even go online and find somebody that's going through something similar. I mean, talk about a blessing. I mean, I don't know I can't articulate this like adequately, but however, it's like you all have a blessing bigger than you can imagine. Take advantage of it. I mean, go on Sarah Knight's page. Blessings. She says, we are evolving at light speed now. The light is here. Yes. 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 All you need to do is say yes. It's as simple as it is. No matter what you're going through, say yes. Get used to saying yes. And a lot of people will say, you know, you need to say no to this. You need to say no to that. You need to say yes to you. And the no's will come automatically. Because the more you invest in you, you don't even have to think about saying no. You can really lovingly, without saying no, say thank you. I'm going to choose a different choice. I'm going to choose a different action. I'm going to choose, because even the word no, it limits you. So say yes to everything. You can say yes and. That's my new no. Yes and this. Because I'm going to decide this. So I'm saying yes to you because I love you. But I'm saying and I'm willing to do this. So really take advantage of everything that you have at your fingertips. Literally your fingertips, right? You have it at your fingertips. I mean, in my story, I literally had to, and I was in a conspiracy theories back then, so I found this not by accident, but purposefully, because I was looking in the dark to find the truth. And what I didn't realize is the truth was me. The truth is you. So when you look and you look and you look, make sure you're coming from your heart. Check in with yourself and don't believe everything that you're seeing, because there is a guidance system that you have. Trust that guidance system, because it will never leave you astray. So this is a little quick check-in with you. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? There's a reason why I do the language that I do. There's a science. There's a magic behind it. So I've been criticized for the language that I use. Why don't you speak normal? I don't want to speak normal, because words are so powerful that if we break apart words, even create your own words, you speak from the heart, because you're creating what hasn't been created yet. So really, I desire to ask you, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? Because the greatness is inside of you. Don't wait to see it outside of you to be grateful, because it's there. And just be grateful for the simple things, which are the most powerful things, is the breath. The breath of life. This moment, I mean, you are alive. You have purpose. You are still here. You have, if you're watching this on your phone, you're more blessed than most. If you have friends, you're blessed. If you have people that are willing to listen to you, you're blessed. If you have water that comes out of your faucet, you're blessed. And even if you have to walk 2 miles to go get water, you have legs, you're blessed. There's people that don't have legs. If you have arms, and for those that don't, I mean, I know that there's more blessings. Because if we just dive deeper, we'll just find more blessings. Because those that don't have, they're really grateful for the little things that they have. Because those are the big things. So think about it. We have arms and we complain. Oh, it's too heavy. Oh, it's... And guess what? I'm talking to the crowd. Sometimes I catch myself, I'm like, why am I complaining about this? There's no reason to complain about this. So to finalize, you know, and please start a dialogue. Let's have a conscious conversation. You know, comments, shares, ask. And if you'd like to come on live, I would like to share about you and share your story. And as beautiful Sarah Knight has contributed so beautifully today, and I thank you, Sarah Knight. So really count your blessings, and I don't mean that as, oh, just count your blessings. Like, really count them. Intentionally count your blessings. Don't just say, I'm blessed for this, I'm blessed for that, I'm blessed for this, I'm blessed for that. And if you're there, that's great, because that's better than never being attentive to your blessings. But start really being intentional. Like, really feel the blessings that you're speaking about. I'm blessed for the breath. Feel that breath. I'm blessed for my living water. Cheers, everyone. Samashan. Blessings. Blessings, blessings, blessings. I'm blessed for water. And I mean, I don't know how to explain this to you. And I'm not sounding boastful or whatever. This is just truth, my truth. The truth that I perceive and live, because there's always going to be deeper truths that are going to shatter limited more truths, right? So, right now, in the here and now that I exist, this water, when I drink it, I can feel it. As I get intimate with the water that I drink, I can feel it go down. I can feel it course through my veins. I can feel my cells enlivened with hydration, that they're jumping up and down, even right now, because I intentionally focus on it. So be intentional with your gratitude. With your gratefulness. See? And it's even surrendering. Surrendering what no longer serves. Right? So be intentional with your life, because life is so precious. And without going into a deeper conversation, this life is what we have right now. This is the greatest commodity. I don't know what word to use. I do know what word to use. This is the greatest blessing, gift, love that we've been given. This opportunity to be alive. Carmen Salcido, bendiciones, blessings. Sarah Knight says, infinite blessings to you and through you. Aho, I receive. Thank you. And I mirror you. And we mirror the one. And we're mirroring our way back home. Because that's all we're looking for is, how do I get back home? And we've forgotten how to get back home. And good or bad, whatever the experiences are, everybody is mirroring your way back home. You might not like to hear something, but it's really reminding you how you speak to yourself. You might not like to see something, but it's really reminding you how you've been seeing yourself. So the more you transform that dialogue on how you speak, you hear, and you see yourself, you'll see transformations in the mirrors of your life. Everything is a mirror. Every single thing you experience is a mirror. Now, of course, it takes time to really unfold the clarity of the mirror. Because in the beginning, we don't want to see the mirror. It's like, oh no, that's not me. Oh no, that's not how I act. Oh no, that's not how I talk. But if you think about, and if that's showing up, really think about it and say, that is how I think about me. And that hurt, that pain is really like a stirring inside of you that you're interpreting as pain, but it's just saying what you're doing is not serving you. It's not a punishment. It's not against you. It's really reminding you the blessing that you have to surrender it. To say, you know what? Take responsibility of it. And I don't mean to give a class, but this is my passion. If you'd like to know more, please, we're here to serve. Because I cannot take all these 20 years of experience and tell you in this one video. It's the ego that says I can do that. So, what are you grateful for? Say yes. Be all in life so you can be all in the honest awe in life. Because there's so much to be awed and wondered and moved and humbled. And quiet, because even words are not enough. So, really count your blessings. Love your blessings, because you are blessed. Thank you, everyone. This was your reminder for today. And when I say reminder, maybe I should explain that. Because we all want to get intellectual with the head. It's like, not all. I don't mean to sound judgmental. Most of us desire to get more intellect, that one day we're going to get there. Like, I get more intellect. I read more books. I do more this. I do more that. And let me just say, if that's where you're at, we got to start somewhere. But I'm going to tell you, that's just the stepping stone. Because even if you're there, I'm going to remind you, which I would really love to use the word re-heart you. Because when I say re-heart you, it's like, what? So remind you is more friendly so the brain can receive. Because when you remind yourself and you're reminded by this beautiful mirror of life, you're going beyond the brain, because the brain is not the mind. So when you're reminding, you're uniting with the mind that the brain humbles itself to. Because the brain is not the mind. The brain doesn't know. Like, if I was to throw this leaf at you and you weren't aware that I was going to throw it, 1 second, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't be able to catch it. Because in the moment that I throw it, it's too late. And that's how we feel that life happens. It's like, oh my gosh, this got thrown at me. Oh my gosh, this happened. Because we're not taking the responsibility of this beautiful mind that is meant to be served through the brain. And if it feels like the brain is against you, if it feels like you don't know what to do, and it's so challenging to shut that brain up or off, or to even have a moment of rest, I'm going to tell you that if I can do it, you can do it. This brain was my worst enemy, my torturer, my executor. Like, it killed me every day. And I'm talking about thoughts that I can't even share on this video. I mean, thoughts that you can't even imagine. And I didn't have any fear of anyone or anything. I went into the lion's mouth without hesitation. Seven guys coming at me. I'd run to them. Because the one thing that I was afraid of was myself. But I didn't want to tell anybody that. I didn't want to say, I don't know what to do because I'm afraid of myself. I need help. That's where a lot of people are right now. And that's how we fall for everything. Because we're in that belief stage. If you believe, which I'm not going to go into depth about that, but if you believe, then you're just going to put another belief to make you feel like you believe, because you know what you know, but you're relying on belief to convince you of what you think you know. So, my point is this. There's a deep knowing inside you. And it knows who you are. And you know who you are. At the fiber of your being, you know who you are. But if you're relying on this brain to tell you who you are, at the end of your life, you're going to feel that inner knowing just come up to the surface. Because For those of you that don't know, I've been dead several times. Pronounced dead a couple. So when that feeling comes up, there's no escape. You cannot run from that. And there's this realization, because that's what death was, my blessing. That realization that you are much more than you can ever even think or imagine. And that's what I'm here to share with the world. And I will do it to my last breath. I will be it to my last breath and beyond. So, love you all. Blessings. Have a great day. And enjoy. And share with me, what are you grateful for? Share in the comments. Remember to hydrate for life. Remember to ground for life. Get naked. Get raw. Get real with Mother Nature. Because she's always real with you. And the mirror that you see of the real that Mother Nature is with you is the mirror that's calling you to be honest and raw with you. Because you are always for you. So hydrate for life. Ground for life. Breathe life. And surrender by being life. Because it's here. It's all for you. Unconditionally. Just giving. Flowing. Breathing. Breathing. Being you. It's all you. There's nothing to work towards. There's nothing to attain. That's fine if you want to play, because we're all meant to play in this journey called life, human, right? But you're much more than that. And really, really open up to that, because you don't know what you're missing. Even the words that I'm saying don't do it justice. Daniel Boland knows. Mine too, facing my death and being sad. Id by something bigger. Being sad and by something bigger. I am grateful. Yes. And there's another person right there. Daniel Boland, not a person. There's another soul in a person's body that is willing to mirror you back home. Being saved. Okay? There we go. Thank you, brother. He says, mine too, facing my death and being saved by something bigger. I am grateful. Being saved. Yes. And we'll discuss that on another live. Let's get on another live, brother, because that's, oh my gosh, we can discuss topic after topic. But here's the thing, as I shared earlier, and let me just share real quick, that Daniel Boland is another mirror to remind you home. We're not saying we're better than you. We're not saying that we know more than you, because we don't know more than you. We know exactly what you know, and you know exactly what we know, and we're here to mirror each other home. So, I was sharing earlier that I was talking to, beautiful mirror, Craig, and I was telling him, what are we complaining about? Because if we were talking about this even 100 years ago, 200 years ago, we'd be burned at the stake. We'd be hung. We'd be tortured. Our fingernails would be being pulled out and telling us to confess something of some rigid, structured programming so the people are not uncomfortable, because they were running from being responsible, being mentally responsible. Because back then, psychology, they didn't know that there was something more than this. We were just machines. So, just think about that for a second. Whatever you want to complain about, just think about that for a second. And you have the freedom now more than ever to be you. You have the freedom now more than ever, because you're always sovereign. And I'm going to tell you, because even in my experience in a prison cell, I discovered my freedom. I had people torture me, and they never got me here. I had people literally, and I don't want to go too gruesome, because I got details that you don't imagine, but wounds all over my body, bleeding to death, and still I was free here. I wasn't in a good place, but I was unstoppable in the brain. Because, anyways, we're not going to go into detail about that. But my point is that I'm living witness that the brain is either your captor or your ally. It's not your master. It's your captor or your ally. but it's neither both, because it's just a tool. And I don't mean to minimize the brain, but the heart is meant to serve, the heart is meant to master the servant of the brain. So, really, if this sounds like you're something that you're interested in, let's have a conversation, because you're not meant to suffer. And even the nine times out of 10, the suffering isn't real. It's just fabricated. Because when you really focus on this convenience that we have today, like I said, you can open up your faucet, you have water. And even if you have to walk 2 miles to go get water, you have legs. There's so much to be grateful for. And we choose to focus on the little things that we create this huge list of things of not to be grateful for. So, open up to life. Say yes and. I recommend not saying no. Instead of saying no, say yes, thank you, but I choose this. Thank you for offering. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for your observation. Even if it's an insult. Because, coming from a fighter, and somebody would insult something that I did or said, thank you for your observation. Thank you for your comment. I really appreciate that you take the time to invest in whatever you feel or think or say about me. But I have my choices, and I choose for myself. And I desire for you to choose for yourself, because you are free, just like me. And you don't have to say those words, but just do it however works for you. But this is a yes. This is a yes and life. This is a get to, not have to life. You get to experience everything. You don't have to experience nothing. So open up to you and live you. Beautiful singing birds, right? This is why I like sitting here. Gratitude for my 60-minute bike training this morning. Ooh, listen to that. 60-minute bike training. I'm catching up to you, brother. I'm catching up to you, beautiful mirror. Because to me, there's no brother and sister. There's just one soul mirror. And I love the beautiful mirror that you are, brother. There I go again. See the program. I love the beautiful mirror that you are, beautiful soul. Because that's another video for another day. There's a reason why I don't say brother or sister. I used to all the time. So stay tuned, because I'll be sharing on that. The reason why I don't say brother or sister. Because there's something much deeper than the... Oh, it's evading my thought. Than the gender. There's something much more deeper than gender. Physical gender. And even spiritual gender. There's something much deeper. And it's the fullness, the wholeness, the oneness of who we are. So, thank you, everyone. I love you all. Thank you for your gratitude. Thank you for your love. Thank you for all of your contribution. Lorena Bias, Daniel Bolin, Patricia Heredia, blessings. Thank you so much. All of you for joining us. I love you because you love you. I'm just your mirror, how much you truly love you. So just remember, everything is a mirror. Open up to it. And don't take it personally like it's a punishment or a consequence. It's just a reminder. It's reminding you back home. Thank you. Blessings. Have a great, beautiful, abundant, blissful day and life. Namaste. Yes, indeed. We carry both sides of masculine and feminine. Exactly. And we'll talk about that. Blessings.